The Simpsons is in the news again with an eerily accurate prediction surrounding Donald Trump, but it's not the one you think.
And that's not all. 2024 has seen even more odd similarities to the popular animated sitcom, so let's just jump right in.
Alright, he's the man on everybody's mind and the name on everybody's lips as of 6:11 p.m. on July 13th, 2024. It's Donald Trump. And the question likely on all of your minds is, did The Simpsons actually predict what we think they predicted? Well, let's break it down. In season 11, episode 15 of The Simpsons, Bart to the Future, which was released in 2015, The Simpsons did predict that Donald Trump would in fact be running for president in 2024. A prediction that would have not come true had Trump served 2 consecutive 4-year terms starting in 2017. During the episode, Homer Simpson can be seen flying past a presidential campaign sign that reads Trump 2024. As for the events and the attempt made on the former president this past July 13th, the prediction is false. Not only that, but this image never actually appeared in The Simpsons. It's doctored all the way down to the Huffington Post watermark. So I'm sorry, but to all of you out there sharing the image on Twitter with the caption, "You can't make this stuff up," I just want you to know that you 100% can. There is something else, however, that might be of interest to those hoping that The Simpsons did in fact make a prediction regarding the events on July 13th. This image here, which is blurred to comply with YouTube guidelines, is a screen grab taken from a new unreleased episode of The Simpsons. In it, you can see a weapon being aimed at Lisa while she presents at a political rally. The episode was supposed to air on July 14th, the day after the incident took place, but it was pulled due to the similarity between the subject matter of the episode and the events just 1 day prior. That's pretty wild.
Bart to the Future, it's just the gift that never stops giving when it comes to uncanny predictions about the future, which we're unfortunately in the midst of. So in the episode, Lisa is president and alludes to some economic issues, telling Milhouse, "As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. How bad is it, Milhouse Van Houten?" With Milhouse responding, "We're broke." The episode takes place in 2030. Trump and Biden are currently running for president, and we pretty much all know who's gonna win at this point, so the timeline of this syncs up surprisingly well. And are we on the verge of an economic crisis? I mean, most people would say we're already in it. Not only is there a lot going on in the world right now, just a couple wars, the job market abruptly shifting due to AI, more on that in a minute, but we're also recovering from a lot. That little thing that started spreading around in 2020 certainly didn't help with the economy, so Bart to the Future is just getting more and more real with each passing day.
While we have definitely mentioned AI takeover on this channel before, I feel like each time a Simpsons prediction video rolls around, it's worth mentioning again, because these artificial intelligent technologies just keep on advancing, threatening our livelihood and sometimes even our lives. Some recent terrifying advancements in AI technology include deepfakes, brain implants, and of course, Teslas. As some of you might know, deepfakes generated by AI have begun circulating the web at a rapid rate as of late. Deepfakes so realistic it has become increasingly difficult to distinguish the truth from fantasy while browsing the web. At one point, it was quite easy to tell by hands with 10 fingers and faces with 3 ears that a video was fake, but today it takes a lot more effort. It's pretty scary that in this day and age, with pretty much all of the information you could ever think of accessible at the click of a mouse or the touch of a screen, we really have no way of knowing what's real and what's fake. More on Teslas and brain chips after this. Take it away, James.
Paul McCartney did something in 2024 that felt oddly similar to something that played out in The Simpsons way back. In the season 2 episode, Brush with Greatness, Bart finds Marge's old paintings of Ringo Starr of the Beatles in the attic. Marge had sent Ringo a portrait years before, but never got a response. Lisa ends up encouraging Marge to join a painting class, so she does. Wins an art show, but then she's tasked with painting Mr. Burns, who ends up coming over to the house and in true Mr. Burns fashion, just insults the entire family. Marge gets so fed up she's on the verge of quitting the project, but then she finally receives a letter from Ringo Starr, praising her portrait of him from decades before. This reignites her passion for art, and the end of the episode ends happily. Now, this sounds like something that would only happen in an animated sitcom, but something similar happened in real life. It wasn't Ringo, but it was another Beatle, Paul McCartney. In May of 2024, Paul responded to a woman from Brooklyn named Adrian. She'd proclaimed her love for him in a video interview 60 years before. Paul saw her video and responded through a TikTok and Instagram video inviting her to a photo exhibition in New York. And before that, Paul had also replied to two men from Essex who'd sent him a mixtape decades earlier. So, hey, there you go. Don't be a stan. Sometimes it takes celebrities a while to get back to you. Is anyone gonna get that Stan reference?
Back to brain chips. On January 28th of this year, a real-life human being received the very first Neuralink, a real-life AI-powered brain chip that goes in the brain. The next day, Elon Musk, founder of the company, tweeted the first human received an implant from Neuralink yesterday and is recovering well. Initial results show promising neuron spike. That is all good and well, but considering Elon's track record for AI inventions, well, let's put it this way. Recently, there has been a major increase in Tesla users reporting being either locked out or locked in of their cars because of battery failure or other problems with the software. There have also been instances where the electric engines have caused fires and the AI driving features have caused cars to swerve on the road. Not only that, but have you seen the new Cybertruck? Well, apparently the door safety features aren't really up to par with other electric cars on the road. Basically, when an automated door shuts, there's supposed to be a safety feature that senses whether or not a body part, such as a finger or an arm, is in the way of the door. If it senses it, the door should bounce back so it doesn't break your limbs off. It appears that the Cybertruck lacks that feature. Take a look. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I hope Neuralink, the literal chip that gets implanted into a person's literal brain, is a little more reliable than some of Elon's other projects. By the way, this is not Elon slander. Don't come for me. It's facts. It's for you.
So I mentioned Lisa being president in Bar to the Future earlier, but could reality be mimicking this episode in even more ways? Take Kamala Harris, for example. Not only is she the first female vice president, but there's a very high chance she may go on to be president in the very near future, perhaps right after Trump's term. I mean, after the next term. We don't know who's going to win. Again, Bar to the Future, where Lisa is president, takes place in 2030, so it lines up pretty well. It's also pretty nutty that Kamala Harris had a very similar outfit to Lisa in this episode when she was inaugurated in 2021. Purple jacket, pearls, even the earrings, pretty much identical. I mean, she looks just like her. She's just not plagued with jaundice like everyone in The Simpsons, unfortunately, is.
In episode 2 of season 28 of The Simpsons, Friends and Family, Mr. Burns, Homer's boss, gets a hold of some virtual reality glasses. He takes them home and uses them to program a virtual family. The show then fast forwards to a few years later, and pretty much everyone, and by that I mean literally everyone, is using VR glasses, living in virtual worlds completely separate from reality and completely separate from one another. That episode came out in 2016. Apple Vision Pro, the real-life version of these VR glasses, came out this year on February 2nd of 2024. The glasses are mixed reality headsets that allow digital media to interact with the world in front of you, which luckily means that current on-the-go virtual reality devices do still ground themselves in some kind of reality, but based on the predictions made in The Simpsons, one day that might not be the case. Furthermore, while the glasses have yet to become mainstream, there are already people who claim to have incorporated them fully into their daily routines. I just personally find this so scary. It's, live in the now, in reality. Please.
Here's another wild example of life being stranger than fiction sometimes. Season 28, episode 2, titled Friends and Family, has a scene where Marge and Homer use VR goggles to eat virtual reality food, slurping up fudge through straws. Virtual fudge, fully immersed in this VR experience. Now, this might sound far-fetched, mostly to older folks, not really all that crazy in 2024, so it's probably no surprise to anyone that there's actually a company working on something very similar. Flavor 5 Studio. It's a project called Aero Banquets RMX. It's kind of like a virtual reality art project where you put on VR headsets and you dine in this virtual reality. The project aims to explore, apparently, the intersection of food and mixed reality, trying to change how we experience eating. So, just like Marge and Homer eating VR fudge, Aero Banquets RMX lets people enjoy a meal in a whole new way, blending the real and virtual worlds.
While it is true, The majority of The Simpsons predictions covered on this channel are pretty gloom and doom coded or just like scary and weird. There are some Simpsons predictions that are not terrifying omens of the end of life as we know it, but are instead just pretty fun and kind of cool. Take for example the famous 1990s band Cypress Hill, known for hit songs like Dr. Green Thumb and Insane in the Membrane, performing with one of the classiest and most prestigious musical groups in the world, the London Symphony Orchestra. In a 1996 episode of The Simpsons titled Homerpalooza, Homer Simpson hosts a music festival during which the London Symphony Orchestra and Cypress Hill perform together in an incredibly intriguing version of Insane in the Membrane. Fast forward to July of this year, 2024, and it actually happened for one night only. Cypress Hill joined the London Symphony Orchestra to perform hits from their 1993 album Black Sunday at the Royal Albert Hall, an incredible night that the hip-hop group actually accredited to The Simpsons, saying, "We salute The Simpsons because if they had not written that episode, we probably wouldn't be doing this," which just then goes to support the theory that The Simpsons doesn't predict the future, it creates it.
And finally, we got more food, printed food. In the episode Future Drama, Marge takes a picture of Bart and Lisa before prom and then turns it into a 3D printed cake. This might have seemed like pure science fiction when it aired in 2005, but it's becoming a reality. Not only is 3D printing technology widely available now, I mean, it's not as common to find in a home as a regular printer, but if you really want a 3D printer, you can get one. And yes, even 3D printed food is a thing now. There is a company called Food Inc. that specializes in this technology. They've even opened a restaurant where all the food is 3D printed. And it's not just the food either. They offer a unique gourmet experience where even the utensils and the furniture are all created through 3D printing.
Wow, there's an episode where a black hole eats a lot of people and things.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah.
Let's just hope that don't happen.
Put it out there.
Don't put it out there into the universe. Yeah, who knows? Anyway, with all that said, I've been your host, James.
I've been your host, Hannah.
We'll catch you in the next one, hopefully.
Cheers.